Hello, I'm Katrina, and this is Quietly Becoming. Today, I want to do something a little different. Instead of explaining narcissistic abuse in theory, I want to walk you through what 10 years of it actually looks like in real life, condensed into 10 minutes. Not to relive the pain, but to help you recognize the patterns sooner than I did. Because the hardest part of narcissistic abuse isn't always the abuse itself. It's the confusion that surrounds it. Most narcissistic relationships don't begin with cruelty. They begin with intensity, attention, validation, connection that feels almost unreal. You feel seen in ways you never have before. Conversations are deep. The future is talked about early. It feels like you finally met someone who understands you. And if you come from a background where love felt conditional or unstable, that intensity can feel like home. But intensity is not the same thing as stability. And that distinction took me years to understand. At some point, the emotional temperature changes. It's rarely obvious at first. Maybe they become more critical. Maybe they withdraw affection suddenly. Maybe your needs begin to feel like inconveniences. But when you bring it up, they minimize it. You're overthinking. You're too sensitive. That's not what I meant. And because you remember the version of them from the beginning, you assume the problem must be you. So you adjust. You become more patient, more understanding, more careful. Without realizing it, you begin editing yourself to maintain the connection. This stage is where many people start losing themselves. You start monitoring tone, choosing words carefully, avoiding topics that might trigger conflict. Your emotional world begins to revolve around their reactions. When they are kind, everything feels okay again. When they withdraw or criticize, you feel anxious. This cycle creates something called a trauma bond. It's not just emotional, it's neurological. Your brain becomes conditioned to chase the return of warmth, which is why leaving feels so difficult later. Over time, something even more disorienting happens. Your sense of reality begins to shift. You may remember a conversation one way, but they insist it happened differently. You bring up something they said. They deny it. You express hurt. They accuse you of being dramatic. Slowly, you begin questioning your own perception. And once self-trust starts eroding, control becomes easier. Because the person who doubts themselves will often defer to the person who seems certain. Years into the relationship, you may feel constantly drained. Not because of one dramatic event, but because of chronic emotional instability. You never quite know which version of the person you'll encounter, and so your nervous system remains in a state of hypervigilance. You are always bracing, always analyzing, always trying to keep things from collapsing. And that level of emotional labor slowly depletes you, the moment of clarity. For many people, the shift toward healing begins quietly. It's not always a dramatic breakup. Sometimes it's simply the moment you realize this pattern will never change. You see the cycles clearly. You notice how often you've explained away behavior that hurt you. And you begin asking a different question. Not, how do I fix this relationship? But, why have I tolerated this for so long? That question is painful, but it's also the beginning of freedom. Now, what healing actually looks like. Leaving narcissistic abuse doesn't instantly restore your peace. In many ways, that's when the real work begins. You may still miss them. You may still crave contact. That doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. It means your nervous system is recalibrating after years of instability. Healing involves rebuilding self-trust, understanding trauma bonds, learning how emotional conditioning shaped your choices, and slowly creating a life where love feels steady instead of chaotic. If you've experienced something similar, please know this: you are not weak. You are not foolish. You adapted to survive an emotionally confusing environment, and awareness is the first step toward untangling it. If you'd like deeper conversations about healing from narcissistic dynamics, that's what this channel is here for. This is Quietly Becoming, and we're doing this work one layer at a time. If this helped you understand something about your own experience, consider subscribing. This channel is about untangling emotional patterns and rebuilding self-trust. I'll see you in the next video.